10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go see. Part. Mike Q.
Louisiana has been fighting a losing battle against coastal erosion, but could the BP disaster help turn the tide? Plus, the governor talks about the state budget, the deficit, and dramatically changing the tax rules, and how local research on pigs could help humans with fertility problems. 7 News Nightcast starts now.
Now in high definition, this is 7 News Nightcast.
And Mike Q. Cynthia.
Good evening. Next week could determine the state of the Louisiana coast for decades to come. That's when BP's civil trial begins. Louisiana and other Gulf Coast states, along with the Justice Department, want the oil company to pay up big for the 2010 Gulf oil disaster. We don't know how much the states will get, but it's expected to be in the billions. And federal law says a big chunk of that must go to coastal restoration. And that's why tonight's meeting on coastal protection was so important, because as KPLC's Olivia Vidal explains, there are plenty of ideas on how to spend that money.
Sign up to.
One thing's for sure, something needs to be done to save Louisiana's coast. And for residents in southwest Louisiana, controlling the amount of salt water entering the marshlands is important.
A salinity control structure on the Calcasieu Ship Channel is something that is a priority for us to try to figure out how can we stop that salt water from intruding through that channel and killing a lot of those precious wetlands. So there are actions that we can do to slow down the current rate of loss.
Deputy Executive Director for the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority, Kyle Graham, says after Hurricane Katrina, CPRA was required to create a master plan to establish a sustainable coast for Louisiana, a 50-year, $50 billion approach to restore the Gulf Coast. One of the big projects is planned for Cameron Parish,
which is about a $45 million project to restore that shoreline. That bid was awarded this past December. You should start seeing equipment moving there in March or April. So they're currently in that pre-construction mode.
This project will build up the coastline in Cameron by pumping more sand onto the beaches. With funding and support from the current administration, legislature, oil spill funding, surplus funds, and coastal impact assistance program for the 2014 fiscal year, CPRA is able to plan for 10 projects, design 37, begin construction on 60, cover maintenance and operation costs of 95 constructed projects, and costs for monitoring 53 constructed projects. This totals to more than $620 million for the 2014 fiscal year alone.
There needs to be actions to keep what we've got and sustain. We've experienced a tremendous amount of land loss, and there are activities that could be taken that could stop or slow down a lot of that land loss. We'll have quite a ride here for the next decade or so of getting a lot of projects on the
ground to keep the water from coming in. At your service in Calcasieu Parish, Olivia Vidal, KPLC 7 News.
You can continue to send comments and questions to the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority until March 23rd. That information is on our website, KPLC-TV.com. Well, most of us were under a tornado watch for most of the day. Wayne, has the threat gone?
Yes, Cynthia, that threat is all gone now. Look at 7 Storm Vision HD. Not much left here in southwest Louisiana. That certainly is great news. There are a few remaining showers. A little hard to see all of this that I've kind of circled here from Lake Charles through to Ritter and over into Allen Parish. All of that false echoes. None of that is actual rain. But this little bit here just north of Jennings is a little bit of actual rain. You can kind of tell that better. Put the radar into motion, see some of those showers from Hathaway to Iota. That's kind of moving to the northeast, but again, nothing severe. That threat is long gone here in southwest Louisiana. Temperatures also beginning to fall slowly. As some cooler air filters in. Also some fog, too. More on your forecast in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Wade. A man convicted of killing a Lake Charles cab driver 30 years ago now has a new chance at freedom.
This is a reader will eventually answer key on air and then go to a full
screen. Birthday when prosecutors say he shot and killed Gene Madden. Benoit was found guilty of first-degree murder and got the mandatory sentence of life without parole. But now the U.S. Supreme Court says Benoit must be resentenced because of his age at the time of the crime. And this time his age must be taken into consideration, which means he could receive a sentence that offers a chance of parole. People hurt and vehicles damaged on I-10, and investigators blame a teen throwing concrete and wood off an overpass. The Calcasieu Sheriff's Office tells us 19-year-old Dalton Jacquelard of Sulphur threw the dangerous objects off the Vinton overpass during the early morning hours from February 12th to the 15th. He faces a list of charges, including aggravated assault, and was jailed on a $60,000 bond. A deadly crash this morning in Lake Charles.
This is a reader. We're going to go to video out of 3 next.
63-year-old Catherine Harris of Lake Charles lost control of her vehicle on Dr. Michael DeBakey Drive and crashed into a building. She was rushed to a nearby hospital where she was pronounced dead.
Videos up.
A huge fire destroys an Iowa restaurant. This amateur video shows the blaze at Cajun Cowboys on East Miller. Many folks remember it as Big Daddy's and the Southern Magnolia Cafe. The fire broke out around 1:30 this morning. No injuries were reported. There's no word yet on a cause. The Allen Parish Hospital will soon suspend emergency services. The hospital posted a public notice on its website saying the emergency department will close March 1st. We contacted hospital administration to explain the closure. So far, we have not heard back. Governor Bobby Jindal's plan to get rid of the state income tax will be the big story of this year's legislative session. Today, the governor briefed the media on his budget. It's $1 billion less than last year's, coming in at $24.7 billion. But you find no cuts to education from K through 12 and college, no tuition increases planned, no Medicaid cuts. The streamlining of LSU and LSU hospitals is the bulk of 10,000 fewer state positions. And Jim will explain why the rewrite of some of our tax code will work.
We've got 468 exemptions in our tax code. We think if you get rid of these loopholes, many of these exemptions, we think if you tighten up on these credits, you can actually offer people lower taxes. You can get rid of the income tax, for example, altogether.
The governor has been busy trying to sell that to legislators, and he will have met with each by the time the session begins in April. Tonight, LSU football legend Billy Cannon will be able to rest at home. Cannon, now 75 years old, spent the last 2 days in the hospital for treatment of a stroke. He was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 2008 and LSU's only Heisman Trophy winner. Still to come, dramatic video of 2 buses colliding from inside one of the buses. Plus, members of a medical team killed when a plane crashes in Georgia. And new details in a dramatic chase, shooting, and crash that left 3 people dead on the Las Vegas Strip. Those stories as 7 News Nightcast continues.
You're up in 3, 2, 1. Fade, take it. I like it when you put the cameras in the shot. It looks good.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
He didn't change it. 15. I'm sure we'll talk about it in the meeting. 10.
It's stupid.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go see. Mike Q.
5 people die when a plane crashes in rural Georgia. Investigators say the plane aborted at landing, then hit a utility pole and burst into flames. 2 people did survive the crash. 1 is listed in critical condition. The other's condition is unknown. The plane was carrying a medical team from Nashville to an airport near Augusta, Georgia. Wild scenes on the Las Vegas Strip. Police say an early morning argument at a hotel led to a Range Rover and a Maserati racing down the Strip. At one point, someone in the Range Rover opened fire, killing the driver of the high-priced sports car. The out-of-control car then crashed into other cars at an intersection, causing a fire that killed 2 more people and injured several others. The Range Rover fled the scene. So far, no arrests. A Chicago judge has sentenced ex-cop Drew Peterson to 38 years in prison for the murder of his 3rd wife. He was convicted back in September for the 2004 drowning death of Kathleen Savio. In a rare outburst, Peterson proclaimed his innocence to the judge. Peterson is still a suspect in the 2007 disappearance of his 4th wife, Stacy. You're on board a New Jersey commuter bus that's about to hit a school bus. This video of the January incident was just released. The commuter bus careens onto the sidewalk and ultimately slams into a tree. 19 people were injured, 2 of them seriously. And this is what it sounded like on the bus.
Stand by, Mike. Mike
No students were on the school bus at the time of the accident, but the driver of the bus was critically injured. Coming up next, how local research on pigs could help humans with fertility problems. The story of 7 News Nightcast continues.
And you're up in 3, 2, 1. Fade, take it. Wanda stocks. Semi-sound from C. I mean, stop from 1. Yeah, stop from 1. 3, 2, 1. Fade up, sound up 1.
Immigration reform has entered the national spotlight as a major political issue.
Stand by sound from C, coming out keyed.
Here on Sunrise about his thoughts on reform.
And next month, the Empty Well fundraiser will help out the Salvation Army. We'll talk about it and get a tasty preview of some of the soups that will be served. Your Friday edition of 7 News Sunrise begins tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
C. Stand by Cynthia. My Q.
1 in every 4 pregnancies ends in a miscarriage. Researchers in obstetrics, gynecology, and genetics are constantly working to figure out what's to blame. But could swine experts have the answer? In this special HealthCast report, KPLC's Brittany Glazer heads back out to the McNeese farm to see how pig pregnancies could impact human reproductive medicine.
Son of 2, no.
Sure, we know pigs can give us ham, bacon, and
2 minutes and 45 seconds standard out.
Something these guys and gals want to hear about.
I think you would.
Dr. Chip Lemieux with McNeese State University's Agricultural Sciences Department and graduate student Carrie Abear say there are several commonalities with our swine friends.
The hearts can be the same as humans, their stomachs can be the same as humans. So why can't, as far as getting pregnant and saving pregnancies, that could actually relate back to us?
To get to that conclusion, we first need to start with the basics of swine baby making. 90% of piglets today are the result of artificial insemination. While it's a safe, cheap way to boost production numbers, the risk of miscarriage is still there.
Genetic, nutritional, environmental things that could happen, a fluctuation in temperature, stress factors.
A full-term pregnancy for a pig is 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days, less than half of that of humans.
Little fluid-filled sacs right there.
Just as ultrasound technology is used to determine a pregnancy in humans, it's also used in sows, and this one here is about 30 days along.
There's developing embryos.
For the pregnancy to not end in miscarriage, corporal lutea, a tissue mass that secretes the pregnancy hormone progesterone, must be present the entire time. Experiment number 1 with 20 sows involved lowering the CL levels and giving half of the pigs nothing to increase the pregnancy hormone progesterone, and the other half a daily oral dose of progesterone.
If we did give them progesterone, they maintained the pregnancy to term and gave birth.
After that experiment success, the next step was to terminate the corporal lutea altogether by giving hormones to the sow. Then oral progesterone was administered in addition to other hormones to see if she could grow a new CL on the ovary to keep a full-term pregnancy.
It worked for a period of time. She did put on a new CL, but at the end, once we removed that oral progesterone, she terminated the pregnancy.
While that wasn't the outcome they were hoping for, these researchers still say their discoveries are encouraging for pigs and people. The research could serve as a model for physicians to induce more CL in women with early miscarriages.
This would be her producing her own progesterone, so maybe a more natural dose of it would be better than an exogenous amount of progesterone.
Something that has the potential to reduce infertility and early miscarriages in mainstream medicine.
Then hopefully one day that could save, a woman who's potentially in danger of losing her baby.
At your service with HealthCast, Brittany Glazer, KPLC 7 News.
And Mike Cynthia.
Now they plan to keep this research going and include more sows in the next study. It'll focus on tweaking the dosages of the medication to see if healthy piglets can be born to a sow after the creation of a new CL. This was just one of the many accidents blamed on a big snowstorm sweeping through the Midwest. The driver of this minivan loses control and plows into a traffic light. Thankfully, no injuries were reported. So they had a bad day out there, huh?
Yeah, a lot of places had a bad day today, Cynthia. I-70 through portions of Kansas was actually closed for a time because of so much snow on the roadway. Thankfully, it was not snow for us, but we did have a different form of precipitation, what we'd expect around here, and that was rain. In fact, the big winner or loser, depending on if you wanted it or not, was Oakdale. Over an inch, almost 2 inches of rain fell today in the rain. I've got more looks at the Weather Watcher rainfall totals and your 7-day coming up after this.
Close mic and fade.
Might as well spice
10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go see.
Now your pinpoint forecast with Chief Meteorologist Wade Hampton.
Mike Hugh.
Well, good evening, yeah, and as I explained, even at 5 and 6 o'clock, the threat for severe weather then was already over here in Southwest Louisiana, and of course that is still the case. No chance tonight of anything turning severe, as we're pretty much done with even rain, for at least for tonight. There are still a few locations seeing a few showers. We'll zoom in a little closer. You can kind of see some of that going on across portions of St. Landry Parish. There are some showers right now around Opelousas. Nothing very heavy here, but at least a little bit of raindrops maybe hitting the ground. A little bit heavier rain kind of just west of the Church Point area. This all is moving off in a northeasterly direction. Some other showers in and around the Jennings area too. Again, as I said, none of these really amounting to much, and a few more kind of southwest of Lake Arthur across the northern portions of Cameron Parish. Back out to the wider view, there is some stronger thunderstorms though, well kind of off toward our northwest. You can kind of see some of that activity going on there in the Mississippi area. We'll kind of zoom in a little bit closer. This is over close to the Hattiesburg area again. That is a tornado warning over there. Of course, that is moving away from us. Mentioning tornado, yeah, we had at least on radar confirmed tornado. The National Weather Service will send a team up tomorrow to go check out for sure, but looks like they will probably find some damage somewhere in and around the Kirkwood area. Of course, that's just outside of our viewing area, but I show it to you just because, again, it proves the point that the storms were strong today. We just got very lucky in that the strongest of them stayed mainly just north of our area. So bottom line, we dodged a bullet again here in Southwest Louisiana. An inch of rain for Teresa Lyons and Lake Arthur. Just a trace, though, for the Berries and Lafayette. 1.6 inches of rain, the biggest amount from Faye Jones in Oakdale, and about a third of an inch or so from Jim Lonis in Topsy. Another problem tonight, some fog is going to be possible tonight. In fact, already seeing it in some areas. Then for tomorrow, I do think there's the chance of at least a few showers. I don't think we're going to be talking about a lot of rain, but at least a few showers possible. And pretty much the same thing into the weekend, at least on Saturday. A different story on Sunday, you'll see with the 7-day here in a second or two. Now, here's the visibility numbers with respect to fog. Not much of an issue along I-10, but down to a quarter-mile visibility at Fort Polk, 3 miles in Oakdale. Any areas that had rain today will have at least a chance of seeing some patchy fog move through the area. Temperatures also will be falling behind that cold front moving through. That's why the fog is trying to develop. Look at Jasper, Texas, 56 degrees. The winds are calm, especially north of I-10. That too's leading to the potential for fog development. In the morning, low 50s for most of us once that cooler air filters through. The exception might be across Acadiana, where it might take a little longer. Across the country, there's all the snow going on to the north, where we're still dealing with problems from all of that. Of course, none of that moving in our direction. There's the cold front on the map again. It moves through later on this evening, but the problem with the forecast for the weekend, it's going to stay awfully close to us. That's going to keep the chance for a few showers going through the weekend. So rain chance at 40% for tomorrow, 20% though on Saturday. So a few showers possible. Better chance for rain ahead of the next storm system coming in on Sunday and Monday of next week. And then some more cooler and drier weather will be moving into the middle of next week.
Standing by on camp.
We dodged the bullet this time. We'll see a few more showers tomorrow. But all in all, the weekend doesn't look too bad.
All right, thanks a lot, Wade. Drew is here with sports and a big night of basketball playoffs.
And a busy night. The ladies back at it tonight. We'll have another score you just won't believe. Plus, it was the same song, third verse for St. Louis and DeRitter. Sports is coming up next.
And then they got
and they take it. Oh.
Great.
Why? Nah. Yeah, seriously. What the fuck is a sugar bomb? I don't know what that is. It's bumps you get from sugar?
Yeah, just think of it like a fudge muffin.
Okay, I do not understand your muffin terms. A fudge muffin sounds like poo to me.
Aren't you recording?
Yes, I'm recording. That's why I didn't say another word.
Oh.
There's a new full screen. Okay.
For the softball game.
Yeah.
That's not new. That's been in there.
But God
Well,
knows.
you to him, probably.
Damn, you know you
15.
I'm not dealing with y'all.
10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go see.
Now 7 Sports with Drew Shirley, local first.
My cue.
The St. Louis Lady Saints beat DeRidder twice during the regular season and won the District 4-4A title in the process. Tonight, the Dragons hope that the third time would be the charm in the girls' high school playoffs. Regional round, DeRidder up by 6 late in the third quarter, but St. Louis is on the move. Jada Peltier pulls up the 3. It is good, and the Lady Saints trail 33-29. Then Peltier gets it to Shayla Stevens. She knocks it in off the glass, and the lead is just 2. But the Lady Dragons respond. Brienne Miller pulls up for 3. That's not there, but for Franz Dominic is. Lead back up to 4. Then Chandrika Robertson in the corner for 3. That's good, and it's 38-31 to Ritter. Now Robertson finds Miller for the fadeaway jumper on the baseline, and the Dragons push the lead back to 9. And then it's Miller to Tia Youngblood to Dominic, and that's it. Sweet revenge for the Lady Dragons as they eliminate St. Louis tonight, 61-48. In Class 3A, a fine season comes to an end as Chris Green's Lady K's bow out to rain tonight, 44-34. Lake Arthur on the road in Shreveport against Evangel Christian in the 2A regional. Early in the third quarter, Rachel Johnson goes right to left, gets the jumper to roll, and Evangel up by 9. Now it's Jaleesa Lafitte for Evangel Christian. She knocks down the tray, and Evangel is rolling. Jaleesa Lafitte drives again. She gets the putback and the foul. And it seems like Evangel is rolling, but then Gabby Guidry hits 3, and Lake Arthur down just 7. Now Guidry again, she misses, but Morgan Woods is there for the putback, and Lake Arthur is mounting a comeback. And what do you know, a huge comeback by the Lady Tigers tonight as they go on to beat number 5 Evangel Christian 54-53. How about that? Sulphur on the scoreboard, number 6 Sulphur gets a win in 5A, 52-40 over Zachary. And Pickering is a winner in Class 2A. They win 71-62 over Mansfield. In Class 2A, it is East Beauregard. Here they come.
What is going on?
East Beauregard is the loser to University Lab, 71-43. And Southern Lab gets a win over Maryville. There they are. 60-44. And these full screens are going to change over in just a second.
He's up on
and
cam.
I'm going to show you the biggest full screen of the night, I hope, here in a second. Fairview wins 108-25 over Doyline tonight. That's right, 108-25. There you see it. Fairview in Class B. I think B stands for blowout. Also tonight, La Cassine is the winner, and in Class C, Hackberry wins 60-40, and Anacoco takes out Bell City 52-31. The boys' playoffs will crank back up tomorrow night, and after a very rough Tuesday for local teams, a few teams still left standing. Washington Marion is still alive after holding off Rossman to win by 10 on Tuesday. The 6th seed Charging Indians will tip off at 7 o'clock against East Struma. While in Class 2A, 12 Pickering on the road against Ville Platte, and a whole lot of other teams playing tomorrow night. So a busy night tonight.
Stand by package from 3.
All right, thanks a lot, Drew. Coming up next, Wade has your wake-up weather, so stay with us.
Kill your mics. Sound up 3. This is a minute 9 standard. Thank you is the IQ. Oh, this is Russ. What is he doing?
Numbers like $250,000 shortfall and backlog of 400 felony cases should be alarming to all of us.
Used to work
right now,
here.
area lawyers are required to donate their valuable time to
my
share
first day here, he told me, he goes,
it,
"Hey, little lady, I'm the one who makes your paychecks."
Let those who use
and I
the
was like,
system
"You
pay
are
for it.
disgusting.
Give
Get away
judges
from me."
authority to impose higher fines to those found guilty to pay the cost of properly staffing the public defender's office. Some say the poor won't be able to pay higher fines and will end up in jail. I say if they did the crime, they'll probably come up with the money rather than do the time. As my corrections officer friend says, they always do. The problem isn't going to fix itself unless the legislature steps in and allow judges to allow penalties with the cost of running our court system.
I mean, he never
the potential
looked
cost
good,
of not doing anything is skyrocketed as lawsuits and the feds wind up overturning hundreds of convictions. Court is in session and time is running out.
He's like a big cigar smoker, huh? In 3, 2, 1, bye-bye.
All right. 15 and 15 coming back.
Because it doesn't currently. 10. Because I couldn't find the noise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see. Mike Hughes.
Well, starting off tomorrow morning, rather cloudy. Could see some fog in a few areas. Maybe a few sprinkles or two, but I don't expect any major rain issues. Could see some more showers, though, by the afternoon tomorrow. But nothing severe. That threat has since moved well.
Stand by full screen.
All right, so we are out of the woods. Well, that's all for this edition of 70s Nightcast. John, Brittany, and Ben are back here from 5 to 7 in the morning for 70s Sunrise. And we're always online at KPLC-TV.com. Thanks for joining us, and have a good night.
2, 1, fade taken. Good show, right?